Hi everybody, welcome back to Guitar in the Real World. Today we've got some really uplifting Steve Lukather for you. It's taken from the Earth, Wind and Fire track Back on the Road, which was from the album Faces, which came out in 1980. So this is quite an early example of Lukather's work in his session musician capacity. But the solo work throughout this song is pretty outstanding. It's outstanding for a number of different reasons. Firstly is his melodic sensibility. Everything he plays is just so perfectly phrased and melodic. His note choices are really fitting and really sort of outlines the harmony, even though he's playing very scalically. The other element that's really important to know, I think, is his kind of sort of groove and placement of all his lines. They all sit really perfectly, and when slowing this down to transcribe it, you can still hear these really landing right on the beats, but it doesn't sound stiff in any way. It's an incredible feat, really. Back in the days before Pro Tools, where it would have been at least whole solos were more likely to be an entire take. And he was only about 23 at the time as well, if that, maybe 22. So yeah, what did they say? Before Pro Tools they had pros. Anyway, the beginning of this song is actually just like a guitar heavy riff thing, which is kind of, you'd call it a pre-intro perhaps, which I've played in my little video. There's not really much to say about it apart from the fact that it's basically chugging away on sort of A power chord with the occasional sort of major third in there. It's that kind of stuff with a bit of a G back to the A. There's not a huge amount going on. It's fairly obvious what he plays, and then he does that dive bomb, which I can't do on this guitar because I've got a fixed bridge on this one. Anyway, the intro proper starts and he launches into this gloriously melodic sort of short little solo. In this section of the song he's playing predominantly pentatonic ideas. We're in the key of A minor. The chords are as follows: A minor 7th, add 4, A minor 11th for a bar, followed by D 7th, followed by G 7th sus 4, followed by C major 7th sus 2, not sure. So what he plays is basically the first 4 bars are just big pentatonic bends, and then he follows through the chords, sort of highlighting the guide tones, I suppose, if you like. So anyway, what we get is this: 2, 3, 4. First half of it, so it's all in that sort of A minor, sort of A minor position 5, bending up to the A, and then he comes down to here, highlighting the D 7th chord, highlighting the G 7th sus 4, going to the 7th and the 5th, and then he does this bending up to the E, and taps onto the F. Sort of the line dies away beneath the vocals. Okay, so that's your intro solo. When we get to the middle 8 of this song, there isn't a middle 8 vocal, it's just this guitar solo, and it's alternating between F major 7th and C major 7th. Now what he plays at the beginning is he plays like a big, I think he plays it, the bend on this phrase, he starts with it on the B string, but you could play it here. So what you get is that pickup 1, 2. So you really get the major 7ths of the chord being brought out, actually, because the F chord, the 5th of the chord, major 7th, E. On the C chord he plays the B. So it's almost like he's highlighting a G kind of shape, G arpeggio, G pentatonic over the C. That enhances the sense of a major 7th. Then you get this phrase, a big climbing riff, climbing lick. He's just basically shifting positions by going up the scale and using a couple of pedal notes on the B string. So to get this under your fingers, it's kind of not that hard, but making sure that you're really certain about where the actual movements are is the key to success with this. I think being aware of when you're going to have to change your first finger position. So this bit here, there's the first slide there. That's the first bit of it, and then you get all on the top string. One more time for luck. Okay, so that's all over those alternating C major 7, sorry, F major 7, C major 7 chords. And then you get this turnaround where it goes G flat over A, then A diminished, B flat minus 7th. And what he does over the G flat over A chord is he goes, so it's like a G flat arpeggio, up to a C, and then over the A diminished he plays A flat, B, A, C, so which really outlines the harmony. That, you know, playing those arpeggio shapes makes it a very, very clear line. And it's a really great way of rounding off the solo and taking us through the key change. Beyond that point in the song, there's loads more guitar stuff going on under the vocals, and then some outro guitar stuff as well, where he starts to step it up another gear in the shred department. But I think just looking at that bridge solo is a really good study in itself, because you can really appreciate the kind of melodic sense that he brings to the table, and it's quite a good little exercise for changing position quickly whilst trying to maintain a smooth line going up the guitar. In the early 80s, there's quite a few records where Lukather plays this kind of idea in his solos. The Boz Scaggs track, Breakdown, Dead Ahead, features similar kind of stuff, and also, although this sort of line doesn't appear so much, but that Lionel Richie track, Running with the Night, he plays stuff that is quite similar to this vocabulary-wise, and that's another one that's worth checking out actually. Okay, so that's the end of that lesson, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. Cheers.